My name is Paul Marambos. I'm a module leader on the MAAF module. Welcome to this application video 2 for Virtual Classroom 1. This video follows on from application video 1, where we calculated the cost driver rates for the warehousing and transportation cost pools. If you haven't already viewed application video 1, please do so before viewing this one. In this video, we will prepare a customer profitability report for Sugarman, which will reflect regional profitability. The requirement here is to prepare a customer profitability analysis of the respective geographic customer market segments. To prepare the customer profitability analysis, let's start with the analysis completed by the previous management accountants. You might want to pause and consider which costs will need to be reallocated to enhance the accuracy of the customer profitability analysis. Sales and cost of goods sold are directly attributable to the stores and therefore don't require further analysis. Similarly, the store rent and overheads and store labor are also directly attributable to the stores, so it's not necessary to reallocate these costs. Therefore, we should concentrate on how the customer segments, being the stores in each state, consume the logistics and marketing costs. Let's start with the logistics. In application video 1, we calculated the cost driver rates for the two logistics cost pools. Now for the customer profitability analysis, we are assigning the cost pool costs to the sales regions. Starting with warehousing activity, as we already know, not all states stock all products. Therefore, we couldn't just apply an equal weighting to each of the three states. Instead, we need to allocate the warehousing cost based on the number of product lines each region has stored in the warehouse. Therefore, the weighting would be as shown. To allocate the warehousing costs to each region, we apply the percentage weighting for each customer region to the ABC driver rate of $16,210 multiplied by the total number of lines stored in the warehouse. It's worth noting that there is an argument for allocating warehousing costs based on the number of stores. However, in our analysis, we have taken the view that the number of stores is not a driver of the costs incurred. Rather, it's the number of stock line items that are warehoused for a region. This calculation shows the warehousing costs allocated to New South Wales, or we could allocate 34.42% of the total warehousing cost pool to New South Wales, would give us the same answer. Now let's look at the transportation activity. We can use the driver calculated earlier to assign the transportation costs to the customer segments. If we use the driver rate of $639.84 per delivery, we need to remember that it is appropriate for interstate deliveries, and this rate would need to be applied to the 1,050 weighted New South Wales deliveries. By applying the appropriate activity-based driver rate to the number of deliveries in each state, i.e. multiplying the two, we can allocate the transportation costs to each customer segment. We can have confidence in our figures as the total allocated agrees to the total of $3.935 million in the cost pool. So that leaves us with the marketing expenditure to fairly attribute to the states based on how they consume these costs. Recall from the background information that $1 million was spent on promoting Sugarman's move into Queensland. This cost should be allocated to Queensland. The balance of the marketing spend relates to campaigns conducted on a national basis, focusing on making sure that customers are aware of the closest Sugarman store around major gift-giving events. The location of stores would determine where the campaigns are run. Therefore, it appears that this proportion of the marketing spend should be shared on a per-store basis. Therefore, the balance of marketing expenditure, being $2.025 million, should be allocated to the customer regions based on the number of stores in each region. Again, the final reconciliation shows that we have allocated the $3.025 million worth of marketing expenses. Putting that all together, the customer profitability analysis looks like this. You can see that we have replaced the logistics line with two separate rows for each of warehousing and transportation. The marketing line has also been reallocated using activity-based costing. The most obvious thing to note is that in this analysis, Queensland is now loss-making. In VC1, we will use this customer profitability analysis to answer further questions. During the live virtual classroom 1, We will also be working through a past exam question. So please read the question before the live session. It will only take you a few minutes. And lastly, please take a minute to write down any questions you might have and may want to raise either in the live Q&A session or via the discussion forum. That's all for now. I hope you found this useful. Thank you.